Recently, Pokemon Black and White 2 was released. I didn't hear about these games until 2 weeks before the release date, so that meant I wouldn't have to wait too long before they would be released. That's great, I thought, but before I play Pokemon Black and White 2, I should play Pokemon Black and White, to go over the story. At first I wasn't sure I should tell anyone about this, because no one would believe me, but for anyone who wants to hear, this is what happened. Back when Pokemon Black and White got released, I just downloaded my Pokemon Black and played it on my flashcard. The problem is that my flashcard doesn't work anymore these days. Luckily enough, my friend was kind enough to lend me her Pokemon Black. Everything seemed to be okay. When I started the game, Juniper gave me the lecture about what Pokemon were and how I was about to start a great journey. Well, anyway, after telling her my name and gender, the game started. I picked Tepig, battled Sharon and Bianca, and went through all the other boring starting stuff when you start the new game. But when I first battled N, the normal dialogue didn't appear. I thought the game had frozen, and I went to turn off my DS, but then I realized that I could still walk around. Maybe it was just a bug or something. I didn't think much of it, as I just wanted to continue the game. But something strange happened when I tried to leave the town. A text box appeared. I can't just leave him there. Weird. I didn't remember this being in the original Pokemon Black game, so I thought Pokemon White must be a bit different. Oh, how I regret not turning the game off then. And there. And never looking at it again. I walked back to N and talked to him. My Pokemon, they are badly hurt. A text box appeared. Give him a potion? Yes? No? Without even thinking about the answer, I selected yes. You don't have any potions. I was surprised. I was sure I had a potion in my bag and I didn't use it in the battle with N. N ran to the Pokemon Center. He didn't just run normally, he sprinted. Sprinted to the Pokemon Center like his Pokemon were in terrible danger. At first I thought it was a little strange. After all these years, Game Freak actually made 2 significantly different games. I liked it. Everything else in the game just seemed to be the same though. And so I started to wonder, if they changed that part, why not change other aspects of the game? The next thing that caught my attention was during the second battle with N. His sprite wasn't the normal one. Usually so calm and collected, he backed away from me. I don't want you to hurt my Pokemon again. Go away! After that, the screen turned black. Damn it, my DS had died. Frustrated, I recharged the battery, and a couple of hours later I continued the game. From there, the game was back to normal, which confused me even further. Why would a game be so different from the beginning, only to revert back to the usual style of the story? I collected all 8 badges, defeated the Elite Four, and entered the castle. This is where things started to get strange again. When I walked into N's room, the usual creepy-ass music started playing, but I lost control of my character. My sprite just walked toward the basket with the train in and then looked around the room. By now I was starting to think that this was just a hacked chip, an illegal copy of the real Pokemon White game. N walked into the room. He didn't move. He didn't say anything. He just stood there and stared at my character. After about 2 or 3 minutes, he finally said, ... What the hell? What is he doing? He walked toward my character and said, It's sad, isn't it? I was really wondering what was wrong with N at this point. After that, he left the room and I was able to move again. I picked up the rare candy, the reason I walked into that room in the first place. And I went to the place where you would normally fight the final battle with N. Well, something in my gut told me this wouldn't end the usual way. When I got to the main room, I battled N and Getsus, just like normal. But after defeating Getsus, he turned to N and said, "Finish him," and took a step back. What? Getsus walked toward N and said, "N, he killed one of your beloved friends, one of your Pokemon. Don't you want revenge?" I couldn't read anymore. N had needed my help, and I had just turned my back on him. This was all my fault. I steeled my emotions and continued. "N, this is not a game." N moved forward towards me. "Not a game?" He turned to Getsus, and a text box appeared. Nothing. Getsus' sprite grayed and faded away. The screen turned to black. I hear the sound from when you enter a house. Then I find myself back at my character's house, in his room. The game reverted to normal, and I tried to forget everything that had happened. I was sure that the not a game thing was just a hacker screwing with the player. You can imagine that after playing this, I wasn't overly excited for Pokemon White 2 anymore. However, I still bought the game. I didn't want another hack like before. I started playing it. Everything was normal until, yeah, you can guess, where things started to get weird again. After I defeated the Elite Four and Champion Iris, I visited N's castle. I walked in and found N standing facing me, silently looking down at the floor. I was trying to talk to him, but to no avail. I decided to give up and leave, and as I tried to exit, N finally said, "It's been a long time." I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just some sort of Easter egg or something like that. I walked into N's room, and the usual, slow, childlike, the music started playing. Just like the first time N walked in and said, "I'll never forgive you." I realized this wasn't some kind of Easter egg. He was talking about his dead Pokemon. The music became slower and deeper. At first I didn't even notice it. "You'll pay for what you've done." I realized he wasn't talking to my character. He was talking to me. This wasn't a hack game, nor was it an Easter egg. This was something much worse. I slammed the off button on my DS, looked up at the reflection of my PC monitor, and I always play games in front of my PC. The chair's really comfy. I saw a face behind me. I turned around to see who was standing behind me. Of course, there was no one to be seen. I closed my eyes, tried to calm down. What I had seen was horrible. It was N, but not the normal N. He had red eyes, a smile that reached literally from ear to ear on his face, and white hair. And worst of all, his eyes were bleeding. To this day, I still don't know what really went on, but it happened to me, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Thank you for watching. This creepypasta was by vloggergames on the creepypasta wikia. It's called The Story of N, and I will be sure to accredit everything in the description below.